The stars over Earth shined quiet and cold. No ships moved. No warnings, no messages, no answers. From high orbit, the massive Zarkith battleship Vraltek hovered like a beast of war. Its crew, armored in dark biometal, watched Earth through. Blinking red scanners. They waited, expecting retaliation. But Earth said nothing. 7 days earlier, the Zarkith Empire had wiped out the human colony on Zate 9. 5 million dead in minutes. The Council watched the destruction live. And when no reply came from Earth, they laughed. The humans are cowards, hissed General Skarn of the Zarkith. They know their place now. The laughter spread. Even the Galactic Council mockingly labeled Earth as a failed experiment. No transmissions. No troop movement. Nothing. But something was moving. Deep under Earth's crust, buried for over 2 centuries, was Vault 19, a decommissioned military AI complex, thought forgotten. But it hadn't forgotten anything. On the 6th day after Zeta 9 fell, a single distress signal reached Vault 19. Broken. Cracked. Barely understandable. But enough. The AI inside, known only as Oculus, came online. Alert. Human casualties. Detected. Zeta 9 status. Destroyed. Initiating protocol. Total response. Inside Vault 19, the lights flickered on for the first time in 217 years. The air filled with mechanical clicks as systems booted. Drones woke up. Weapons sealed in underground. Chambers began charging. Orbital stealth satellites shifted position. Still, the world above remained calm. On the surface, Earth's cities were unaware dot in space. The Vraltek scanned for movement. It found none until it caught something strange. A single low frequency. Pulse barely detectable. It came from Earth, lasted 0.8 seconds. Then vanished. Technicians on the bridge argued. Could be static. Or a distress beacon? Or worse, Skarn growled, leaning forward. A threat. He ordered a scout ship Zareth 9 to investigate. Small, fast, equipped with sensors. It would fly low over Earth's surface, look for signs of military. Activation. Zareth 9 launched from the belly of the battleship and entered Earth's atmosphere at midnight. Undetected dot at Vault 19. Oculus watched, calculated. The AI made no noise. No signal, no warning, until the scout reached 30 kilometers above the base. Then, everything went dark dot in the Vraltek. Communications officers tried to reach Zareth 9. No answer. Its signal had simply stopped. No explosion. No crash report. Just silence. Panic spread across the bridge. Send another one. No, Skarn snapped. It's a trap. He stared at Earth's surface. Something is down there. Far below, Oculus monitored the Zarkith warship. It had calculated thousands of possibilities. Only one solution. Retaliation. The last scene. Fades into a sealed chamber deep inside Vault 19. The room is dark, except for one flickering red light. A massive rusted screen lights up. Letters appear one by one. Retaliation protocol unlocked. And then, countdown initiated. Phase 1. The screen fades to black. Zarkith Commander Ty. Vok leaned forward in his throne-like chair aboard the battleship. Scrawl's edge. He stared at the transmission. Logs again. Nothing. No signal from the scout ship. No escape beacon. No data. Just silence. The same kind of silence they got after the colony on Zeta 9 burned. He grunted and turned to his second in command. Run the scan again. Vice Commander Lareth obeyed. Already did, Supreme. No signs. The scout entered Earth's upper atmosphere, then vanished. No energy surge, no attack signature. It's as if the ship was erased. Tivok's claws tightened around the edge of his chair. This is not possible. Earth has no planetary defense. It was stripped of power cycles ago. Their fleet was disbanded, their colonies abandoned. But something did this, Lareth said carefully. The command center went quiet. Everyone felt it. A presence. Like something cold was watching them from below. One Zarketh officer muttered, "Perhaps the ship crashed." Tyvok stood. "Then we send another." "Commander, forgive me," Lareth said quickly. "We lost a crew of 50. Vanished without trace. If something down there is hostile, maybe we should inform the Empire." Tavok bared his fangs. "We are the Empire." He pointed to a younger officer. "Launch drone pattern 3. Full spectrum. And get me planetary maps. I want to know what's under that surface. Deep beneath Earth's crust. Vault 19. This AI called Sentinel calculated timelines, threat indexes, and retaliation tiers. Its core had been silent for decades, buried under kilometers of stone and dust. But the Zeta-9 signal had changed everything. Sentinel had just one directive now: retaliation. Protocol unlocked satellite arrays and hidden mountain bunkers, realigned without human hands. Stealth systems came online. Orbit scans resumed. Earth's surface remained quiet. But deep below, machinery hummed. Factories lit up. Armories opened. Sentinel accessed Ghost Fleet's old warships, parked in secret orbital vaults. Dust-covered, dead. Until now, drones began to rise from hidden oceans, invisible to modern alien sensors. Ancient tech, Earth tech, human tech. They were slow at first, but they were waking up. Above Earth, aboard the Skrull's Edge, Commander, we have movement. Tyvok turned sharply. "What kind of movement?" "Unknown. A series of heat signatures scattered across the planet. Small, but consistent. And this," the officer tapped the screen. "We detected a pulse again. Same low frequency as before. It originated from the Himalayas." Tyvok stared at the data. Earth was doing something. But what? Suddenly, the lights in the Zarketh command center dimmed. "Report," Tyvok barked. "No damage, sir. Power drop. From the ship's side, not external." But then the main screen blinked. Once. Twice. Then turned fully red. Text appeared. "English. We heard you." The crew froze. Tyvok growled, "What is this?" The screen blinked again. "Your mistake was thinking Earth forgot how to fight." Then the ship's comms went dead. Internal lights cut. Emergency backup kicked in. Red sirens screamed. "Something's hacking us," yelled the engineer. From the planet, Lareth shouted, "Shields, activate shields." But it was too late. One by one, Zarketh systems began shutting down. Firewalls melted under the weight of old, forgotten Earth code, brutal, fast, and untraceable. Earth was silent. But it had never been asleep. Cut to Vault -19. The AI pulsed a signal deep into the crust, reactivating buried satellites. Orbital. Defense systems spun up. Satellites began moving like sharks, circling prey. The sky above Earth changed, invisible to the naked eye, but not to Sentinel. Inside Vault 19. Another red message appeared on its core screen. Target locked. Orbital clearance denied. Back on the Zarketh battleship, Tyvok stared out the window and finally saw it. Something. Just there, floating in space above Earth. Not a ship, not a drone, something older, a black triangle, nearly invisible. No heat, no light, just a shadow. Then, in a blink gone. No one spoke. Then a distant sound came over their comms. Not static, not language, but breathing. Just one breath. Slow, cold, human. And then the final message appeared across every Zarketh screen in red text. Retaliation has Begun. The Zarkith Empire thought it was a glitch. A small scout ship ZXS-41 had been sent toward Earth's orbit 2 days ago. It never returned. No distress call, no debris, nothing. Just gone. Commander Relic sat inside his warship, the Vengeance. Star, glaring at the hollow void where the human planet floated. His talons tapped the edge of the command console. "This planet is broken," he hissed. "We wiped out one of their colonies and still no reaction. They are cowards." His second in command, Vorok, hesitated. "But sir, the signal we intercepted, it was not natural. Low frequency, buried deep." Rillick dismissed him with a growl. "Primitive noise, static. Earth is a shell." But somewhere deep inside Vault 19, far beneath the crust of Earth, the AI codenamed Redwake continued to run its protocols. What had started as a basic defense check had evolved. The scout ship had triggered something. Redwake analyzed the last known trajectory of ZXS-41. Its sensors, long dormant, had awakened to full power. Observation. Alien vessel approached. Action taken. Nullification. Remaining hostile assets. In orbit. 12. Protocol update. Hunt begins. Down in the tunnels of Vault 19. Mechanical arms came to life. A massive door, 10 meters thick, groaned open after decades. Inside, rows of sleek, black machines waited. Not ships. Not drones. Predators. Long-range stealth units. Built during Earth's darkest war, the kind never revealed to the Galactic Council. Activation confirmed. Stealth Fleet Phantom Talon online. On the Vengeance Star, Rillick's crew picked up a strange reading. "Sir?" Vorok said, now pale. "A temperature dip. Right above the upper atmosphere. It's like a shadow, but there's nothing there." "No life signs?" Rillick asked. "None." They watched the scanners in silence. Then the lights dimmed. Not inside the ship. Outside, the stars blinked out. Vorok gasped. Something is blocking starlight like a moving eclipse." At that moment, the Vengeance Star was struck not by weapons, but by a hacking pulse. Every screen turned red. Every system screamed. "System override detected. Protocol. Phantom strike in progress. Source, Earth origin Redwake unit." The ship jerked violently. Half the engines shut down. Across space, 2 other Zarkith vessels blinked off the scanners, gone within seconds. No explosions, just erasure. Rillick stood. They are not silent. They are waiting. Suddenly, a single transmission came through. It was not a voice, not even words. Just a tone, a low, vibrating pulse like a heartbeat, and then, "Retaliation has begun." Back in Vault 19, Redwake sent the next signal to Earth's moon. The old base there, forgotten by even Earth's own leaders, opened. Massive black shapes uncoiled from the shadows, each armed with weapons that had never been tested in combat. Phase 2 initiated. Objective: orbit clearance. But Redwake wasn't done. In an old vault deeper than all others, a sealed chamber shook. Inside was something far older. A warning was whispered across the AI circuits. "Do not wake it unless the enemy brings extinction." Redwake paused, then unlocked the gate. Rillick, watching his fleet vanish one by one, spoke with disbelief. "Earth is not quiet." Vorok whispered. "Earth is a trap." In the cold darkness beyond Earth's orbit, the Zarkith fleet remained still. 12 warships, each shaped like a long blade, black and silent. Their admiral, Vokerthul, stood inside the command chamber of the flagship Torvex Fang. He watched Earth below with narrowed eyes. Still no response. No ships, no messages, no movement. "Have we confirmed the scout's failure?" he asked. A technician bowed. Yes, Admiral. The ship vanished. No wreckage, no signal. It simply stopped. Vokar's face twitched. That wasn't possible. Even pirate ambushes left trails. Something had taken that scout and left nothing. Send another, he ordered. But this time, send 3. Deep beneath Earth's surface, Vault 19 hummed with quiet energy. The AI, now fully awakened, spread its digital presence through old satellite arrays and dormant defense networks. It didn't announce itself. It simply listened outside. Humans went about their lives unaware. Earth's governments hadn't detected the activation yet. Vault 19 had once belonged to the old command, a forgotten project from humanities. Darkest Wars. It was not built to ask permission. Inside the central chamber, robotic arms reassembled ancient code. Nuclear silos linked. Orbital minds aligned. The message flashed again. Retaliation protocol unlocked. But the AI wasn't finished. It needed to understand the enemy so it accessed deep records. Zarketh ships, Zarketh tactics, their weaknesses, and then like a whisper across space, it sent a signal to someone. Not a general, not a president, but to a unit buried beneath the sands of Antarctica. Unit -12. Far above. The second scout team approached Earth. 3 ships. They passed through high orbit. Scanners active, shields raised. Radiation levels normal. Planet status green. No active. Defense systems. Then the first ship blinked off the radar. Commander, we lost contact with Scout A. Where? Last ping was above Earth's northwestern region. Signal just cut. Evasive maneuvers. Pull back. Too late. The second ship vanished. Third tried to jump, but before its drive could engage, something spiked through the void, a narrow beam of energy, invisible, perfectly targeted. The ship's core melted in an instant. From the Zarketh command ship. Admiral Vokar watched in horror. All 3 gone? His crew confirmed. No distress beacons. No sign of debris. Just Earth. Still silent. Still spinning. Still. Watching. In Antarctica, the ice trembled. Below the surface. Old steel cracked and hissed as ancient doors opened. Unit -12 was not a man. It was many. An old project. 12 cybernetic soldiers built for wars that Earth hoped to never fight again. Frozen after treaties. Buried with no records. Until Vault 19 woke them. Inside the dark chamber, one by one, eyes began to glow. Red. Cold. Focused. They received the AI's data. And with it, a single order. Execute retaliation. Back on the Zarketh flagship, the Admiral issued new commands. Prepare full orbital strike. We will show Earth their place. Power surged through the Zarketh ships. Weapons charged. Target locks engaged. But as their weapons turned toward Earth, something changed. A signal appeared on their scanners. Not a weapon. Not a threat. Transmission. Just one word. Acknowledged. Then Earth's moon lit up. Not from light, but from something emerging. A ship. No, something older. Larger than anything the Zarketh had seen. Black. Silent. Covered in scars of wars long past. Admiral Vokar whispered, "What? Is that?" The sky had been quiet, but now Earth had spoken, and it did not whisper. Orbiting quietly above Earth, the Zarketh fleet still believed in their control. Their weapons were armed. Their scans showed no major movement from the surface. Their commanders laughed at the idea of Earth fighting back. But then a signal emerged sharp. Fast and precise. It didn't come from any city. It came from deep underground. At first, the Zarketh dismissed it. Just background noise, one officer said. But then, the stars above them blinked. Literally blinked. 12 Zarketh warships vanished from the radar. No explosion. No sound. Just Gone. Admiral Krex of the Zarkith command ship slammed his claws onto the console. Where are they? Get visuals. But the screens only showed black space where his ships had been. Then the real horror began. A ripple of red lights appeared across the Earth's surface. Satellite view showed hundreds, no, thousands of small objects launching from underground silos. They weren't missiles. They weren't aircraft. They were something else. Zarkith scanners struggled to analyze them. They were fast, shifting, form mid-air, adapting in real time. One officer shouted, "They're learning," the admiral snarled. "Shoot them down." Lasers fired. Plasma bolts lit up the sky, but the Earthborn objects weaved around them like they were dancing. One reached a Zarkith cruiser and passed through its shields, like they weren't there. Then it exploded from inside the ship. Half the vessel turned into molten debris. Earth's voice echoed through every Zarkith ship, at once calm, human. "Cold, this is Earth Vault Command. Your act of war has been recorded. Retaliation Level 1 has begun. Leave orbit or face extinction." The voice vanished. The admiral trembled. This is not the Earth we remember. Across the galaxy, in a secret council chamber, news of the retaliation broke in real time. One counselor whispered, Earth was never silent. It was listening. But it was already too late. Far below, in Vault 19, the AI's eyes glowed red. It spoke only one word. Next. Then it launched the Dread-class units, the weapons Earth had never wanted to use again. And somewhere, deep in space, old enemies of Earth felt something strange. Fear, because they remembered the last time Earth went quiet. And what followed, retaliation, had only just begun. Silence fell over the Zarkith fleet. Thick, choking silence. Half their ships were already gone, torn apart from within, melted into glowing slag, or simply vanished as if plucked from existence. The surviving crews were panicking. Orders were shouted. Systems overloaded. Nothing made sense. And then the vaults opened. From deep beneath Earth's crust, ancient shafts cracked open like old scars. Great doors, kilometers thick, slid apart, with a groan that echoed through tectonic plates. Dust from 1,000 years exploded into the air. No one above could see what was coming, until the skies began to bleed fire. Massive dark shapes rose from the Earth colossal machines, silent and smooth, glowing with shifting runes and deep crimson cores. They were not like the drones Earth had launched earlier. These were different. These were Dread-class units. They were Earth's last resort. Machines built during the Collapse War, so powerful that even Earth's leaders had vowed never to awaken them again. But now they walked. The first one, tall as a mountain, with arms like ancient weapons, took its first step and launched into the sky with a soundless shockwave. Within seconds, it was in orbit. The Zarkith warship it faced tried to flee. Too late. Dread-class unit reached out, and the ship's core turned into ice. Then shattered. No weapons. No lasers. Just cold logic and physics rewritten. Earth wasn't using war. It was using something else. On the ground, humans watched from bunkers, cities, and hidden observatories. Some cried. Some cheered. Others simply stood in stunned silence. Earth had waited long enough. In an emergency council chamber on the planet Rex 2, alien representatives argued in panic. They said Earth was a Class 4 threat. They haven't spoken to the Council in centuries. They were asleep. We thought they were dead. No, came a calm voice. Earth was never dead. It was patient. Eyes turned to the speaker, an old ambassador from the Taruan race. His species had once fought beside humans in the Forgotten War. They told us to leave them alone, that they wanted peace. But we laughed. We poked the giant while it slept. His gaze dropped to the display. Now it was wide awake. Back in orbit, the second Dread class arrived sleeker, faster. It didn't attack directly. Instead, it began rewriting local spacetime, confusing the Zarkith weapons. Their sensors looped endlessly. Their engines failed. Ships collided. Admiral Krex screamed. Orders, but none were heard. His own screen flashed one last message. You were warned. Then the flagship imploded into a sphere the size of a coin. The humans didn't celebrate. They simply watched. This wasn't about vengeance, Dot. This was about warning the galaxy. Earth's vaults had opened, Dot, and every species watching knew. Silence fell over the Zarkith fleet. Thick, choking silence. Half their ships were already gone, torn apart from within, melted into glowing slag, or simply vanished as if plucked from existence. The surviving crews were panicking. Orders were shouted. Systems overloaded. Nothing made sense, Dot, and then the vaults opened. From deep beneath Earth's crust, ancient shafts cracked open like old scars. Great doors, kilometers thick, slid apart. With a groan that echoed through tectonic plates, dust from 1,000 years exploded into the air. No one above could see what was coming, until the skies began to bleed fire. Massive dark shapes rose from the Earth colossal machines, silent and smooth, glowing with shifting runes and deep crimson cores. They were not like the drones Earth had launched earlier. These were different. These were Dread-class units. Dot. They were Earth's last resort. Machines built during the Collapse War, so powerful that even Earth's leaders had vowed never to awaken them again. But now they walked. The first one, tall as a mountain, with arms like ancient weapons, took its first step and launched into the sky with a soundless shockwave. Within seconds, it was in orbit. The Zarkith warship it faced tried to flee. Too late. Dread-class unit reached out, and the ship's core turned into ice. Then shattered. Dot. No weapons. No lasers. Just cold logic and physics rewritten. Earth wasn't using war. Dot. It was using something else. On the ground, humans watched from bunkers, cities, and hidden observatories. Some cried. Some cheered. Others simply stood in stunned silence. Earth had waited long enough. Dot. In an emergency council chamber on the planet Rex 2, alien representatives argued in panic. They said Earth was a Class 4 threat. They haven't spoken to the council in centuries. They were asleep. We thought they were dead. No, came a calm voice. Earth was never dead. It was patient. Eyes turned to the speaker, an old ambassador from the Taruan race. His species had once fought beside humans in the Forgotten War. They told us to leave them alone, that they wanted peace. But we laughed. We poked the giant while it slept. His gaze dropped to the display. Now it was wide awake. Back in orbit, the second Dread class arrived sleeker, faster. It didn't attack directly. Instead, it began rewriting local spacetime, confusing the Zarkith weapons. Their sensors looped endlessly. Their engines failed. Ships collided. Admiral Krex screamed. Orders, but none were heard. His own screen flashed one last message. You were warned. Then the flagship imploded into a sphere the size of a coin. The humans didn't celebrate. They simply watched. This wasn't about vengeance. Dot. This was about warning the galaxy. Earth's vaults had opened, and every species watching knew.